single person who's ever existed. Jesus' blood is an overpayment for your sin. That's why we are supposed to not regard sin in our minds and hearts any longer because of the blood of Jesus. That doesn't mean we get to do whatever we want. We are redeemed from that sin, so we don't have to continue in it. Are you hearing this? But Jesus' blood is an overpayment for our sin. 1 Peter 1:18 and 19 says this. It says, knowing that you are not redeemed with corruptible things like silver or gold from aimless conduct received by tradition from your fathers, but with the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb without spot and without blemish. The precious blood of Jesus. See, Jesus had no sin in him and no sin in his blood. The sin in his blood, when he shed his blood at the cross, was our sin. Now, I mentioned this again, why we use wine here at Believers Church. And I've had this question, it bears repeating, because I don't want you confused about anything here. We use unleavened bread because there was no sin in Jesus' body. But leaven is also called yeast. And I was asked specifically, well, if there's no yeast in the bread, why can there be yeast in the wine? Because that represents sin and pride, and we covered this. And the reason why is that Jesus' blood took away our sin, but it wasn't in his body. He didn't carry that sin that he committed. He carried our sin and bore that at the cross in his body when he shed his blood. That's why, truthfully, in my opinion, now, okay, I'm gonna give you my opinion. There is absolutely zero judgment about if you want to receive wine or the grape. We make grape juice. We make them both available because there are some things that people deal with in life, and we get that. We get that. There's no judgment on it. But if you remove the yeast from the wine and you have just grape juice, you remove the sin that was paid for. Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. The sin has been removed. So what did Jesus pay for with his blood? Jesus bought us back from the enemy and bought us back from death with the life of his blood. Can I get an